Hey everyone, this is Derek here, and today we are going to be taking a look at an interesting unnamed loot location on Miramar, with the intention of figuring out, is it worthy of the title of secret loot location because it is awesome, or is it a location we want to forget about because it's not very good? So there are actually a number of these clusters of small, like, it's almost like little villages or towns or whatever that are on the far west side of the map. The one we're going to be looking at today is the southernmost one of those. It is west southwest of El Pozo, and it's a collection of about 12 to 15 buildings. So you can see it tucked away in the corner there. We are going to start heading towards it now, and obviously only certain plane routes even allow you to jump here. But if it's really good, well, maybe then it's worth actually getting a vehicle and driving here, because chances are, unless you're playing arcade, nobody else is going to be dropping here because it is so far outside where most people tend to drop, which is like Picado or Hacienda, El Pozo, Los Leones, the mines, the islands. I mean, there's so many other locations to drop water treatment on Power Grid on Miramar that people tend not to go here. So if I was going to do it all over, I would drop at the brown building, north side of the compound, the two-story. You see that building a lot of other places in Miramar. It's generally pretty good, generally has some pretty decent loot. But instead, I wanted to see if there's anything on the roofs of these buildings, and there isn't. So it's kind of a waste. But anyways, we've got an extended quick draw. We have a level 1 helmet, a level 1 backpack, a P92. There's another P92. Going to go ahead, swap it for the ammo, and we already have a decent amount of 9mm, but not much else. So we've got a compensator. I don't think I'm going to pick that up yet. There is a Win 94, good for the Win 94 challenge, but not very good else. Let's see what else we got here. So, I mean, it's decent. It's fine. It's just that it's not my favorite weapon, honestly. I mean, I'd prefer most others. So now extended quick draw and a compensator for an AR. So an extended quick draw for a sniper and a compensator for an AR, a pan, some 5.56, and some boots, all in the same house. So that is pretty good. There might have been an energy drink by that. Was there? No, there wasn't. It was just a gas can. Okay, good. Thought I missed that there, as I am apt to do in these videos. Oh, whoa, an 8x scope, though. That is a really good find. And there is an energy drink. Okay, good. We didn't miss that one. So, wow, that is pretty awesome, actually. So an 8x scope, that is a very rare find. And we're only in the first cluster of houses. So maybe this place isn't too bad after all. And I know what some people are going to say to that. They're going to say, well, you can find good gear anywhere. And that's true. Like the developers even said, they try to set up the loot table and the spawn tables in these maps so that anywhere can potentially be good. But there are locations that are better than other locations, of course. So let's see what we find in this house. This is the last of the ones in that initial cluster that we landed at. And Uzi, I might swap that for the, or just pick that up. We'll swap it for the Win 94. We got some other decent stuff. I think there was an extended mag for an AR. Don't really need that because I already have an extended quick draw. But there was a 2x scope, which is good on an AR. So let's see what else we can do, what else we can find. Now I am heading for that building. Oh, there are two bots shooting each other. That is lovely. Let's take care of the first one, see if we can get the second one with the last 12 rounds. Split that magazine almost dead in half, 12 and 13 to each one. And he had a helmet and an SKS. So actually, he had an SKS. So I don't know if we want to really count what the bots have in the loot because you never know if bots are going to spawn. But two did in this game. This is a solo game. Two bots spawned and started shooting each other. So we might as well take advantage of that because now we have an SKS with that extended quick draw that we picked up earlier, as well as an 8x scope. So other than the, there's a red dot for the pistol, some more 7.62 for the SKS, and other than that annoying SKS bug, that is really good actually. So that's a decent weapon. We've got a 4x scope there, and the bug I'm talking about affects a number of DMRs right now. It should be patched in 0.7.0. Basically, you shoot somebody, you don't get a hit marker, it does no damage. So unless you see that hit marker, that little plus that's either, or little X that's either white or red, just know that you didn't do any damage. Usually it's caused by like latency and stuff. So some more 5.56, and you could see that house was pretty decent. If we had started at that house, we would have started with like an AK and a revolver, and we would have started with some decent stuff. So basically, if you're going here, I'd recommend starting at that house. There's a VSS with an extended magazine. That is really cool for that to spawn together like that. And there's an M416. That is a good weapon. So I think we'll swap to that. We have an M4 and an SKS now. The VSS with an extended magazine is actually pretty good. Without it, it's pretty not very good because the reload is so long and the damage is pretty low. But with an extended, you have 20 rounds of automatic 9mm, which isn't to be underrated, especially with that scope built in and the built-in silencer. So let's see what we can find, but obviously the SKS with the 8x is just the better option for us in this game. So if we had a teammate, I would definitely recommend picking that up for at least, one of the people, because with an extended spawning right next to it, you did the hard work of trying to find one. So let's see what else we can find. We've got M4, not too much ammo for the M4, but not awful. And then plenty of ammo for the SKS. Oh, there is a tactical stock for the M4, so that is getting better. Look at that. Now we're starting to fill up those weapons with attachments. M4, we have a compensator and a stock. We're just missing the grip. And man, that is a powerful weapon already. So let's see what else we can find. Fighting off the sneeze right now. I think it went away, so that's good. We've got a flash hider for the AR that does give you some recoil reduction, but not as much as the compensator, so we're going to stick with that, I think. We've got a stock for the micro Uzi if we had stuck with that for our short range, but the M4 is just the more powerful weapon, at least in my opinion. It is much better at range too. There is another bot, so let's see if we can headshot him as he runs helplessly towards us. I do have to watch out for those bots with the Kar 98s though. Some bots have been spawning. Like the vector bots are dangerous short range. The DP bots can be dangerous, but the Kar 98 bots are actually pretty scary, because if you don't expect them to shoot you in the chest with a Kar 98 early in the game, you can very quickly find yourself back in the main menu or the title screen, having lost the game to a bot. So there's another tactical stock just in case we need a second one. I don't think so. See what we've got up here. Bandages, we are good on those. Nothing else on that side. Let's see if there's anything else on the other side of the upstairs. We've got a frag grenade. Always good to pick up a couple of those guys. You never know if you're going to need them later in the game. And you can see how I'm kind of systematically working my way back and forth through this village. So, the houses are set up in rows, which is very convenient. And if you're looting with multiple people, I recommend someone start at one end and work one way. The other person start at the other end and work towards the middle. But because I am looting by myself, I figure I might as well keep it simple, and in an effort to not miss stuff, just go back and forth through the rows until I loot everything. So we do have to factor into this. Oh, there's an airdrop that is over there. That's convenient. And spoiler, that actually ends up being an AWM, which I do keep for the rest of the game. So that is a lot of fun. But you can't expect an airdrop to drop here if you land here. But in this case, it worked out. So we've got an SKS with too much ammo, an M4 with not enough ammo, and generally some pretty decent attachments too. I mean, we're really starting to kit out those weapons. Got a red dot sight there, another frag grenade. Don't really need that many. I think we're up to like 4 or 5 at this point. A vertical foregrip, that is desperately needed though. That is very good. So like I was saying, what we do need to factor into this, because you'll notice that at the end, a cheat pad for a sniper too. Wow, that's pretty good. At the end, I'll show you what I have, and it will end up being really good. But you do need to factor into this that 1, I'm playing solo, and 2, I'm taking a long time doing this. I mean, perhaps the sound of my voice is either making time go faster or slower for you, but it's already been about 9 minutes of looting. So going to go ahead and swap that. Oh, there is some more 5.56. We'll swap to the M4, or swap to the M16, then swap back to the M4, and then accidentally swap back to the M16 because my bag is full. We are going to get rid of, we'll put the 2 times on the M4. We'll get rid of one of the 4 times because we don't need it. And then we will go ahead and pick up all that ammo. And we are left with just about 240 rounds of 5.56 now, which is very good. So we have too much 7.62, but we have quite a bit more 5.56 now, and everything's looking pretty healthy. So like I was saying, we've been doing this for over 10 minutes. So if you enjoy looting up in peace and having fun collecting gear, then this location actually could be whoa, lag with the door, could actually be a decent location for you, because as you can see, there's some pretty decent equipment that's spawning here if you choose to loot all the buildings. But if you want a more exciting game where you loot up and then head into the zone to try to find some people, well, this might not be as much for you then. There's another smoke grenade, another tactical stock. And as you will see in a second, just looking behind me, make sure nobody's following me, no more bots have spawned running towards me aimlessly. Unfortunately, they are not. Let's head for that airdrop now, because it is so conveniently located right over there. But, I mean, it's one of those games where if you enjoy a slow start like that, 3 bots killed, 68 people left, but look what we have. We have an M4 with a 2 times a compensator and an angled grip, an extended quick draw, and a tactical stock. So that is a fully kitted out M4. I would prefer a second vertical grip, but for spraying, the angled is fine. And then for the SKS, I'd much rather have the vertical on the SKS. We had a flash hider, extended quick draw, and a cheat pad with an 8 times scope. So that is a very powerful sniping weapon in the game. So 2 amazing weapons. Unfortunately, only one. Oh, that guy just flopped over. Unfortunately, only a level 2 helmet that is damaged that we picked up from the bot. So no good helmets, really, because even one fresh level 2 would have replaced that. So only level 1 helmets, but level 2 vest, level 2 backpack, not too bad. There's a Car 98, but I don't think we're going to go ahead and pick it up just because the SKS has all those attachments on it, which make it so controllable that I think that we will stick with that for this game. Plus, I'm not the best with the Car 98. I tend to miss shots, and then, the follow-ups are just a lot slower than using the SKS. So there you have it. Do you think that this location is worthy of being called an underrated or hidden location on Miramar? I'm not really sure. I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, because like I'm saying before, it's a good location. There's a military vest and an AWM, so we will swap all that stuff out and have... So much for the SKS, right? We just built it up and then we're just abandoning it. But anyways, I think it's a good location, but I'm not entirely sure that it depends on how you want to play the game, really. So if you want to play a fast-paced game where you loot up and you have fun, I wouldn't recommend this spot because it's going to be boring. But if you enjoy a safe location that has some pretty decent equipment, I'd say some mid-tier stuff with the possibility for your 8 times or something else awesome spawning, then maybe it's a good location. So even in higher level games, this might actually be one of the better locations to start at, just because it's probably not going to be visited by anybody, which means you can loot in peace. It has enough for duos, not enough for squads, but it definitely has enough for duos, and it's kind of remote enough that, like I said, you'll be alone, you'll be able to loot up, coordinate with your teammates, and then set up a plan of attack. If you want to head into El Pozo, maybe that would be what I'd recommend. Otherwise, you're very exposed running the way I am running, but this is a solo match in a pretty low tier, so I'm not too worried about real people shooting me. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. I would show you the rest of it. I know people are curious how these games end because I tend to play them out most of the time. But this one ended with 2 bots shooting each other and then me just shooting them with an AWM. So, I mean, like, if the game ends up being exciting, if the rest of the game ends up being exciting, I'll probably like cut to it and show you parts. But in this case, I mean, it was kind of just me AWMing a number of bots, I think 1 or 2 real people, and then the final 3 people, the other 2 were both bots who were shooting each other in the middle of an open field. I was like, okay, I guess that's it. So yeah, okay. So anyways, there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up because I certainly appreciate it and it helps the channel grow. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely consider doing that now too for tons more PUBG Mobile content. Street sign, evil street signs. My name's Derek G, and I hope to see you on the battlefield soon, or in my Discord, which I'll also leave a link to down below.